Hey, how's it going, Coach Sampson?
What you say, Dayon?
Not much. Just going back to Tramon after the game, he said that the game is slowing down for him. What are you seeing from him in regards to picking his spots offensively and then impacting winning on the defensive end, rebounding, and all those areas?
Yeah, Tremont, you know, when you're inside the cave and you see them every day, and you know all their warts, you know all their weaknesses, you know their strengths, you know everything there is about them, and then other people offer an opinion. Sometimes you just kind of chuckle because you know some of the stuff people say about our kids just clueless. Tremont had some good games as a freshman. That's about it. Didn't have a great year. Had some good games. He was playing on he was the sixth man, or I shouldn't say sixth man. He was our first guard off the bench. We had two guards off the bench that year. Tramon, who played um, um, a lot more than Jamal. Jamal rarely played. That's why last year was really Jamal's freshman year. Like this year is really JVA's freshman year. But Tramon was never in a position where he was counted on or depended on. He just went in and rested Dejan, went in and moved Marcus over to point, or went in for Marcus, or went in for. So it's hard. It was hard for anybody to say, well, he's going to be this or that. Then last year he was hurt the whole year, so he just never had a chance to get any traction. His game never progressed last year through no fault of anyone's. It's just the way it happened because of his injury. And once the doctors went in and repaired his labor, and it was worse than they thought, which tells you how tough Tramon was for even trying last year. He probably should have had surgery earlier. Of course, you don't know those things till you go in. And then this year, now he's starting over again. He hasn't played in what, a year, go all the way back to the Final Four year against Rutgers, Syracuse, Oregon State, Baylor. You know, he was starting to play his best basketball then. Then boom, he goes an entire year and doesn't play. And now he comes in and says, well, he's going to be this, this, and this. Tramon was so further behind Jamal and Marcus. He was nowhere close to their level when the season started. You know, sometimes the timing of foreign trips, for instance, this would have been a great summer for us to take a foreign trip because of our freshmen, our guys coming back from injury like Marcus and Tramon. This would have been a great foreign trip summer. But you know, we had the two scrimmages, and Tramon wasn't very good. It was okay in one, not very good in the other. But no big deal. He's got to get back up to speed. And then the season started. He had some okay games. Then some other games where he just wasn't making the right play. So there's always one game that's going to be pivotal on your schedule in non-conference. Every year, there's always one game that's you're going to get exposed on some things that you need to be exposed on. Losing a game has never bothered me. I know I've said this a lot of times, but losing is not the be all end all in non-conference. It's okay to lose. When you set up a schedule at Oregon, preseason top 25, at Virginia, preseason top 20, St. Mary's, Alabama. You lose two or three of those. So what? It's good to see what you have. We lost four starters last year. I had no idea how good this team could be. We had good pieces, but you don't know what it's going to look like. But I think the guy that was furthest behind anybody was Tramon, and and Tramon needs to be in a system where he's allowed to take one or two difficult shots. And sometimes a hard shot is different than a bad shot. A bad shot to me is a vomit shot. A difficult shot is a contested shot. So I can live with a difficult shot, but I will not tolerate a bad shot. And Tramon was taking a lot of bad shots early in the season. And then Marcus was taking some bad shots. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. It's the way this thing's going to go. So after the Alabama game, that was a great pivot for us. We pivoted to our assist ratio went up, ball movement was better, and we have some players. A lot of people look at offense sometimes and say, well, you should run this, this, and this. Coaches should run what's best for their team. Like when Princeton offense came out, like, that's a great offense. What's a great offense for Princeton? It would be a bad offense for us. So our offense for us, if you've got good ISO players like Tajay Moore, the best offense for Tajay Moore was run some kind of false motion, some kind of misdirection, get the movement going one way, send him the other, and let him go ISO and get to his left hand. The best offense for Tajay, one-on-one. Some people say, well, I don't like one-on-one basketball. Well, that's good. Don't watch it. That's the best offense for us is one-on-one. That's what's best. What offense you think Michael Jordan was running? Everybody talked about the triangle. As soon as that ball hit Michael Jordan's hands, that triangle was over. It was called "Give it to me and go to hell." That was the Michael Jordan offense. So if you got good one-on-one players, you have to give them freedom to play one-on-one. Quentin Grimes was a good one-on-one player. Dejan Jarreau was. Armani Brooks was a great difficult shot shooter. Everybody has something they're good at that might be outside the norm. And Tramon's like that. But the thing Tramon was not utilizing was his ability to pass. I remember going to the NBA Top 100 camp in Charlottesville, Virginia, the summer before his senior year. And the team that Tramon was on didn't have a point guard, and he had to play point guard. And lo and behold, he led the entire thing in assist. And here he was in the first 4 or 5 games. I think he had, I'm not even sure he passed 5 times, much less have 5 assists. So I let him go for a while, just to let him get his bearings. And then at some point, you got to say, here's how we're going to have to win going forward. And I think once we established how we're going to play, and you're always evolving. There's nothing with a period at the end in November. Everything has a comma behind it. Okay, this game. Okay, let's see. I never coached Jarris before. Let's see what he does. Let's see how Tramon plays with Jarris. Here comes Terrence. Okay, Terrence a little bit different than Kyler. One's 23, the other one's 18. A little bit different. Jarris is a little bit different than Fabian. Fabian was 23. Jarris is 18, 19. They're all different now. So you're trying to get all these pieces to fit, and it's just like all these satellites orbiting in space, and you're trying to get them all to stop and get together. And it takes a long time to do that. You have to let them make mistakes. You have to let them have to have success. But, there's no period at the end of what we're doing, but the commas are less frequent now. And I think the guy that's helped us with that is Tramon. He's doing a better job of making the right play instead of just premeditating his plays.